give God a big hand of praise. I said it before, we belong to a kingdom, and in this kingdom we have a culture. There is a system that operates in the world, but God wants the kingdom system to take charge. And one of the ways He does it is by sending ambassadors to infiltrate the systems of this world. The Bible speaks in the book of Revelation, the kingdom of this world has become the kingdom of our God and of His Christ, and He shall reign. And in the kingdom, we have our own culture. Paul was speaking, writing to them. I was talking, using what's called the issue about covering of head or not covering of head. He said, but in the church, we don't have such a culture. He said, in the church, we don't have what? Such a culture. There are culture that is within an environment. And one of the challenges we have as believers is that most often we tend to adopt instead of adapt. They are two different things. You see a child of God who is in the kingdom functioning with the culture. Here, this is our tradition. Instead of functioning by the culture of the kingdom, the person is still functioning by the culture of the environment where they have been socialized. I remember talking to a young man, and in one of his comments, this kind of the basic comment about ladies, when they come for their family meeting, a woman that is married into the family should not be telling us what to do. But the guy is born again. Born again, sadly born again. But he's still running patriarchal system of oppression. The same thing I tell them, I say, there is nothing like Valentine in the kingdom. There's only like Valentine. You don't have Valentine. Even the nation doesn't. There's no public holiday. Is it not? There is public holiday Christmas. There's public holiday Easter. There is no public holiday. If you take anyone, it's all and take us risk. There's not a God. There's nothing like Valentine in the kingdom. Someone say, but why are you people doing it? That if we don't do it, you will have a wrong perspective. So whatever the system of the world brings, we give kingdom clarity to it. That's why this is if not. I would see some people say, wish somebody is my Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day. Wow. If we are doing what we're doing, we are doing it so that we can give a sense, because the church is called the pillar and the ground for truth. We are the center for moral clarity. We give direction. So that people don't understand. I love that thing that my wife also put it. She got it and she showed me and put it on her on there. Say that fornication is not a gift, a Valentine gift. It's a sin. It's a morality. If we don't put the real culture to it, the world will just say. That's why I say, don't wear red and white. Because you don't even understand the meaning of red and white. We'll talk a little bit. I just speak it. Talk a little bit in English. And then they wear red and white. They don't know the meaning of red and white. Praise God. Hallelujah. And so this evening I'll be breaking down on the concept of attraction. Developing a magnetic persona. Now, it will deal with both relationship, deal with everything about your life. I just hope that the next 70 to 90 minutes will be enough for me to do just the way I want. I can do it in 30 minutes, but the way I want to drive a conversation, I want it to be very, very, relaxed. Line upon line, process of persons. Because I have discovered, the reason why somebody will go beyond. We have super bachelors and what's it called? Ladies, is this Insta?
Insta.
We have super bachelors. There was one when I went for my grandmom's funeral the day before. One of my uncles. The woman that came into the compound and was discussing, daily, was asking my mom, what about your kids? He said, one of them here is a bishop. The woman was telling us the story that they are like schoolmates with my mom. So one of the uncles, the woman asked him, what of your children? The guy said, I'm coming. What of your children? That's a powerful question. The guy said what? I'm coming. He disappeared. He is at the diamond level of bachelor. we have ladies that are, you can just be shocked. They just walk in, they say, is that your daughter? And the ladies. The major issue is that you lack a magnetic persona. Simple. Because if you have it, you attract it. That's so when you talk about that capacity to attract people, it is everything. Both spouse. My wife says she will never marry a pastor. But she's married to a pastor. She's a pastor now. The other pastors that came doesn't have that magnetic persona. And I did not marry her rich in terms of physical things. I remember somebody was asking her, how do you go on a date? Do you jump Okada? We went to your one, told her, who is that guy? She said, my fiancé. She said, that boy. And she thought I looked at me and I was actually looking like, just imagine how I am very fat now. Just imagine 2 years ago. How fat I was then. There was nothing physical qualifying me. Yes, now. Nothing physical. Nothing. But there was an attraction. There was something. I'll tell you what attraction. Attraction makes people change their mind. You see the bottle cup is there. You bring magnet. It will start behaving somehow. After today, people will start behaving somehow around you towards your direction. It's a grace. I have this promise of God. No, let me read it. Who read the Bible? First Chronicles, chapter 12, verse 22. God anointed David as a king, but Saul was still on the throne, and David needed to change things. And the Bible says what? From at that time, somebody from today, every day. Somebody from today, every day. Well, you are not getting it. Some of you are still back. So you are not getting the frequency of my praise. I said from today, every day. That is from that time, day by day, there came to David. So there was a time nobody came to him. But there was a particular time that day by day, there came to David to help him until it was a great host, like the host of God. The next verse. Watch. And these are the numbers of the bands that were ready armed to war. And they came to David to Hebron to turn the kingdom from what? Saul to him, according. So it doesn't matter what God speaks until men comes, things won't happen. See why they will prophesy, you pray 24 hours. If you don't have that magnetism, David was anointed king, but until men were attracted, what the Lord said about him did not come to pass. This year is your year for marriage. Amen. After that, you need to develop a magnetic persona. You hear me make this? I cannot be stranded in life. It's not possible. Me now, it's not possible. Put me in a desert, so people will come around. Suddenly, someone will just carry camel and just start passing because I am in the desert. I cannot. I don't know any major country. I'm not talking about Poland. Poland is not a major country. Or Lithuania, all those Eastern Europe. No, I don't about major countries. Say go to Paris, go to Germany, go to mention major countries and not the not talk to no. I mean major countries. Yeah. I left for my honeymoon with 70,000 in my pocket, taking somebody's daughter to Ghana. We landed Lagos, pa. The guy that came to pick us at the airport parked wrongly. They charged him 10K. So I paid 10K, remaining 60. They are going to Ghana for the first time to stay in a hotel. One of my guys that did not attend the wedding, learned that I was in Lagos. He said, hey, let's meet at the visit. He paid our ticket, going. One of my pastor friends in Accra helped us, got a venue for us, hotel. We stayed in the hotel 2 weeks and after. From Ghana, I came to Abuja, stayed 1 week. From Abuja, I went to Jos, stayed 1 week, Jos Wildlife, but returned back to Oka with my 70,000 in my pocket. You went to no man's land, traveled with somebody's daughter, and still returned with what you went with. I just said that somebody, just only two of you, something will rub on you. Amen. Something will rub on you. Amen. So it doesn't matter what God promises, it takes men to make it happen. Because God has allowed us. When he said, let us make man in our image, he said, and let them have dominion, not let him. So for there to be dominion, there was a plurality of men involved in your case. You can't have dominion, a him or a she. For you to have dominion, there must be them. You know, we normally read that scripture where there's no vision, what? People perish. But where there are no people, what happens to vision? Write the vision, make it plain that he, not you. So it doesn't matter the vision you say you have. There must be another to do what? To interpret. You said you have sown a seed in Luke 6:38, give and it shall be given unto him. Good measures, pressed down, shaken together, shall. Which means no matter what you sow, if there are no men around you, nothing works. I'm going somewhere. I need to give you clarity. This is why it's not the time that we tell you, hey, we are ready. Tell the person, how are you? You have to be romantic or rubbish. Complete rubbish. If you are romantic without attraction, they will slap you like that boy that they slapped him at the mall. With the guy that he came to propose with, he got a slap. Your smell is like the field that the Lord has blessed. I just prophesied to somebody. I think somebody around. I just spoke to somebody now that your smell is like the field the Lord has blessed. Yeah. I see it. The wise man said in Proverbs 14 verse 28, the multitude of people is the king's honor, but in the want of people is the destruction of the prince. So anyone that is all in one is only a curse. Woe to him that is alone. It's only a curse. Yeah, I like doing my thing though. It's a curse. It's a limitation. Because God has already said it's not good that man should go. So what is the meaning of attraction? Because when we talk about you need to attract both quantitatively and qualitatively. You need to attract large numbers and also attract quality. They are very important. Both. Don't say I go for quality, not quantity. You need both. You need both quantity and what quality. Because there is a place quantity will save you, and there is a place quality is needed. You need both. I just saw 3 of you. I saw hands getting into the things that you do, and those hands are there to drag you to the next dimension of life. I see it. I just saw it now. That 3 of you, you are doing something, trying to lead. Hands just came in, and they just began to enter into the things that you are doing to drag you to the next dimension of life. I am where I am today because hands helped me. I'm telling you, these people that is just like that. In my absence, they are just dragging and dragging. So, attraction simply means the act or process or power of drawing something. Some call it personal charm. Or the power of drawing forth response. So you come in and you draw forth what? A response in the midst of the people. You are selling a product, and as you bring your product, you draw a response. And what is that response? Purchase. It's attraction. You make a proposal, will you marry me? You draw a response, and that's a yes. Not let me pray about it. And after 6 months, they are still praying. After 1 year, they are still praying. No, you draw a response. After today, if you're a young man, go back and repropose. Something has entered your tongue. By the time I'm done cooking you tonight, you go back. Something that no. If you watch yourself, you even more than you have all it takes. The only thing you don't have is all it takes to draw. Then they see some babe, they will leave the man going to say what, and they follow somebody. No, something else. And they follow 5 things. They can you paint yourself blue, paint yourself black, paint yourself to the point that we don't even know who you are again. You see some ladies now, some of them wear bomb shots on Facebook, marketing themselves. I saw some and they have come to the point of desperados, and they are marketing themselves, you showing somebody's son will marry me one day. Somebody's son will marry me one day. And then the marketing, all those marketing. You get rains of insult and debates. When somebody will need to sit down and bake herself. So you draw things. It's a force acting mutually between 2 particles of matter, tending to draw them together and resisting their separation. That's the point. It resists separation. So when you get a magnet, there are things that make a magnet a magnet. Yeah. You know the reason why all of us are on earth today. The earth has attracted us. Yeah. Picture a football in your mind. Football or basketball or tennis or any ball. You know where you are? You are one side of that ball. You are hanging like this. But you think you are straight. You are like this. I mean, the ball is like, you are like this. Where we are in Africa, you are like this. Because we are almost at the equator, we are like this. You are projecting one side, but you are not bending like this. You are not bending. There is a force that, there is a way a magnet will get a nail. The nail will just go phew, and the nail will just stay that way. It will not drop, because the force of gravity holding you is keeping you straight even though you are bending. The earth is magnetic in nature. I know where the magnetic rod is, at the core of the earth. At the core, the earth cross at the core is pulling the whole water you are seeing, ocean. All of them are latching at the bottom and they are not falling off. The same energy is holding the air, atmosphere. You don't know that this atmosphere has pressure. Yes. Oh, no, it has pressure. That's what atmospheric pressure. Yeah. So even the air, is inhale air. The magnetic nature nature of the earth is holding human beings, holding the ground, holding the air, holding everything, and all of them, the water is not spilling away. Everything is just it's holding everything. Telling you. So you hold things. I don't know. I've dated 4 guys, and all of them, Chukwode, Nkenakanam, John, and John Boo. I just said them. After 6 months, they just leave me. You know they cry, you know they grab something. You have been hustling to keep them. You don't hustle to keep any man. Don't understand. You are sweating and struggling. And they say, sit down, and let me sit down so that I don't want to lose him. As you are sitting, he's going. To follow the one that he will say sit, the one is standing. He's following the one that is standing and still going. And you want to, but me, I'm obeying everything. It's not the obedience, so it's not the obedience. There is something you are looking. Magnetic persona. You know, some of you have heard me now. I said, nobody can tell me no. Nobody. If you talk about church people here, in PFL, how do you not tell somebody that's an apostle on his own, somebody that's on his own in ministry? Some of them vow they will never be part of PFL. I just go to the office. I want you to work with me. You can say anything, but not a no. And they say, you have said that you say everything, but not a no. What else should I say? And all of them are part of the deal. I believe in you. You can't tell me no. Even as I'm talking to you now. I say I want to collect money from you now. I'll tell you I want to collect the money. And I'll collect it. And you will give it. Even though you intend to say no. You will give it with your no. It's a no. I'm telling you, say no. It's a no. It's not about bragging or whatever it is. If I'm 6.2 and I'm 6.2, I'm 6.2. Evidences are bound all round. All round. Yes, some of our leaders, when they come, say, no, Bishop, I of the Iykes, we can't resist it. We can't tell you. Ask them, say, I want this thing. He said, I want this thing. He's already giving. Don't struggle with that matter. There is a consciousness. I was trying to fly into Oga, there. You know, I was already late at the airport. They have been checking in. They almost trying to report themselves. So I ran, came to the place. He said, no, you do delay. No, it's already, we're about 5 or 6 of us. I just went to the counter, to the lady. I said, okay, look at me. Hey. Into the eyes. I said, I need to be in the book. Because there's a crucial meeting. I cannot miss it. Some other people were saying, but I just spoke. They just did as if she don't hear me. I said, you cannot be added to the list of those that told me no. I just do it. Just on. With our braggadocious pride. Say, see that man over there, go and meet him. Don't tell him that I said no. I said, I might to be, do I know you? Don't tell him I said no. I left them, went to the man. The man gave me my boarding pass. While 5 others missed their flight. The other time we were coming, this corona long line. I don't know who I was coming back with. I was doing the line was like this. This kind of everybody they need to do your bag, this one, spray the bag, this that. And my time, less than 30 minutes. Suddenly one fire official, just came, came to my phone, say, all of you, follow me. I'm the number one. Follow me. He now passed us through the back to the counter. Yeah. He just came to me. I was on. He said, from here, follow me. Others keep on, follow me. Back. Someone said, it just happened that it doesn't happen. As he was coming to do that, there was a magnetic density. Dragging him till he came to my point. I said, wow. I said, it's still working. It's still working. That the chance in the walk. In the walk. Carry out. They will give somebody love portion. They now say, hey, follow me. And the person they follow. He said, God portion no feedback. So you need to develop that. So there are several components that make up an attractive magnetic persona. And I'm going to drop it for you. Very simple things. But when you do them consciously, how many of you, if you have watched home movies and all those stuff, what about they do? The things that they used to do to juju are the same things you do for them. But now, when they now say bring the lizard, why not in your house bring lizard, bring this one? Why not? But when they now bring it and they consciously do all those and present the juju, you are now going with consciousness. It's no longer lizard. This thing now is attraction. It's no longer lizard. As you move with that consciousness, suddenly things begin to work. So there are about several components. I don't want to tell you the number, but anywhere I reach and I spoke, I'll talk with my time. Praise God. Number one component for a magnetic persona is generosity. Listen to me. People run away from stingy folks. Learn it as a young person. People do what? Run away from what? Stingy folks. Proverbs chapter 19 verse 4, then verse 6 and 7. Wealth. Later we'll take it NLT. Wealth maketh many friends, but the poor is separated from his neighbor. Verse 9. Many will entreat the favor of the prince, and every man is a friend to him that giveth gifts. Every man is what? A friend to him that giveth gifts. All the brethren of the poor do hate him. How much more do his friends go far from him? He pursued them with words, yet they are wanting to him. All the brethren. Can I get NLT? Verse 6. Check. Okay, wealth makes what? Many friends. Poverty does what? Drive them all away. Verse 6. Many seek favors from a ruler. Everyone is the friend of a person that does what? Everyone is a friend to the person that gives gifts. And what now? The relatives of the poor despise him. How much more will their friends avoid them? Though the poor plead with them, their friends are gone. When you remain in the poor side of life, you will lose the companion of men. Just talking and taking poverty. We want to put that scripture, we put it out of context. We think his talent. Say a man's gift does what? Make it to present. A man's gift. My singing gift makes room for me. My tapping gift is something. Don't be that gift. Proverbs 18:16. Give me New Living Translation. New Living Translation. And then to Proverbs 16. Sorry, Proverbs 18:16. 18:16. Giving a gift can open doors. It gives what? Access to important people. Look at this, my translation. Giving a gift works wonders. Giving what? A gift works. That's some of you they're just getting any place. All you know, once you meet anybody that looks as if you need them, you are going with all the need you have. Some ladies have suffocated the man. The guy just say hello. All the problems of your family is on the guy's neck. Recharge card is on his neck. Transportation is on his neck. Shawarma. Why do you do Valentine and it's only the gift that you will receive from the man? Why you don't go give? Why you don't give? Everything they advertise. Buy that special jewelry for your babe. Buy that special teddy bear for your babe. Buy that everything. Which one did they advertise for the guy? You have made yourself a liability. And so do you know where you are? The guy has kept you in his mind as a reserve, waiting for the right person. Once the right person comes and he pleads, excuses will come. I don't know what just came over him. No, you came over him. It was you. See, I don't know what just came over him. You came over him with what? You You came over here. I was telling a young man, I said, you are in a relationship. Is she your wife? That she really want to pay her rent? Before she met you, she know they live somewhere. Better go to Destiny Port. If you don't like this kind of work, go to Destiny Port. Where they'll be jumping up and down and no destiny in your life. Jumping up and down. Oh, God. So giving gifts work wonders. It brings you before important people. Have you not discovered that anyone that is sacrificial pulls sticks towards himself? Why is it that Mandela dragged people, sacrifice 27 years? He can make a. Why is it that now the guy will say sit at home, everybody will sit at home? You think because no, people are sympathizing with the sacrifice he has gone through. They invaded his house, he lost his parents, he was not there for the burial. All those things speak volume. You know why Christianity is pushing ahead? The killings of martyrs. The sacrifice of the people, the death of the people that are going for this kingdom. When there is a bloodshed, there is an attraction. Why did they talk about blood money? You must sacrifice something to attract things. So all these areas, I don't want to give anything away. It's not myself by myself. Oh, you only live by yourself. Jesus said in John, if I be lifted up, I'll do what? I'll do. He said this, signifying the kind of death. Lifted up there doesn't mean praise worship. It was not about lifting him on the cross like this from the ground. If I be lifted up, I will draw. So it means when I spread my hands on the cross, I pull people towards myself. If you are not willing to sacrifice for a cause, you will not drag anything towards it. There are some people that say, I have this proposal. There's this proposal I have. There's this business idea I have. I need a 7.2 million. You went and typed something and brought. Me, I will give 7.2 and you never even put 20,000 inside it. There's nothing you have sacrificed. You will carry, let them pour all the oil of the proposal. Nothing will work. You are waiting for people to sacrifice for you and you are not willing to drop anything on the table. Therefore, sense of God, if we must drop things to ourselves, we must give up stinginess and become generous. Solomon made a sacrifice. He not only attracted me, he attracted God. He sacrificed 1,000 burnt offering. God showed up. God said, this time around, I'm the one that will arrive. God showed up that night. You were like, oh Lord, come down and manifest your. I know the prayer anyway. Solomon did not sing that song, did not pray that prayer. As he sacrificed, he did not invite God. God showed up. Solomon, I'm here. What do you want? A blank check. Just anything you want. Anything you want. So when you hear us say what we say, this is one of the components, generosity. Say David is one, generosity. You can't call him. He said, that's why I say, if you're a leader and you are stingy, nothing works around you. Nothing works around you. We need 58,000. Bring. You don't bring. No. You must be the first to eat your dog food. You must be the first to eat your dog food before another person can do. So, number one component. Now, you may need all of them. You may need some of them. But if you have a lot of them, your density is higher than those that have a little. Simple. Somebody may have only generosity. There are things you can attract. If you don't have the other one, there are things you cannot attract. The density may not be the same. So, get out from this place and be open-handed. Be consciously open-handed. You know how to do. As you live here now, buy sachet water and give to somebody. Say, I want to just be generous. I want to attract. Just say, don't be shy. Then I want to start learning attraction. And they bring this sachet water. That's water. Let my generosity begin with 20 naira. You know the problem we have? Bishop, you're saying the right thing. You know my plan. I want to start sacrifice for 200,000. I like. Start with 20 naira. Start with 20 naira. Generosity. Start there. Start there. I attract clothes like mad because I've sacrificed a lot of it. I attract favor like mad because I'm always there for people. When they came from enthronement, I said, all this stuff, they said, you're always there. You're always there. It is not pray and it shall be given unto you. It's give. It's not pray. Please, attend my wedding. Please, attend my wedding. I did not say anything. One of the guys came in all the way from Kaduna. He said, just buy two this of flour, bags of flour. Give it to me, forget every other thing. The 100 tables, he baked cake for all of the tables. So this one don't say they will cut cake. As I was cutting my cake, everybody in the audience, people say, wow, what the way they don't know say, no be new, no shishi, no new bag of flour. Guy came from Kaduna, slept 1 week in Oka, baked all the cake on his own expenses, nothing. He said, but you deserve more than that. You don't know what we did when he was on campus in Ebonyi State University. Sacrifice. Who can you stand now and say you have touched? Can you write the list and say, actually, I have touched this one, I have touched this one, I have touched this one. The only thing I write those that have not touched you. Offense. I asked this person, don't give me. I asked this other one in the bone. I entered there. They are just writing and writing. Don't worry, when I make a big, I will go show them. That's why you don't make it to. Because the essence of your making it is to revenge. God says, vengeance is mine. I'm telling you, don't wait till when I make it, I will show them better. No, you make it to. You will not. You will not. You are the one that will be leaving the bed. Number 2, I'll touch some people. Discretion. You know what is discretion? Common sense. And they say most times common sense may not be common. The quality of having discernment or good judgment. The ability to make responsible decisions. It makes you what? Attractive to people. Okay? Stop debating. Have good judgment. I never think that this comic stuff they did on Facebook. This guy, whether it's influencer or whatever, the lady took the guy. The lady used to help the guy in the shop, trying to sell. The lady took the guy to where they will buy him my hair. And the guy said, how much did they say? 70,000. The guy said, on this your head, that I've not produced, I've not sold it, that I have not produced 50,000 naira for me. The guy said, it's a business loss for me to put 70,000 naira before on the head that I've not produced 50K. I'm losing 20,000. He that had an ear, let me hear what the Spirit is saying to the churches. I say it everywhere. If your wardrobe is more expensive than your library, it's already the trajectory of your life. If your wardrobe is more expensive, you calculate the cost of what you are wearing. It's more expensive than what you are putting in your mind. January is gone. What new information have you gotten? Apart from useless gossips from social media. Sound judgment begins with sound knowledge. It is when you are eating butter and wine that you can actually make it sound judgment. You cannot have sound judgment if you don't. That's what they say somebody is a judge. A judge must know the law to interpret it. You can't have sound judgment until you are knowledgeable enough. Some guys say, nah, man, guys, the husband. Is that what it is? I was talking to a young guy, I said, if you know what it means to be a husband is a cultivator. That's what husband is a cultivator. Now, if your father-in-law hands over that girl to you, will she return 3 years later better than she left the house? Or will they be looking at me saying, now, what happened to you, name? Your job is to improve. To improve. Hunchbacks, not husbands. It's even started even from dating. You are going to show how irresponsible you are. You eat and indomie you did not buy. You are going to show the first sign of irresponsibility. How can you be confident to eat and indomie you did not provide? Come on, some do indomie evangelism. Instead of winning souls, it's like you visit this man for you have a roster. Irresponsibility highest point. High level, baby, just calm down. I know my future. You don't know any future. You have no, there's no future. We already know the future. So I know where I'm going to. I know where I'm going to. You use those words to I knew that they are happy to deceive. Because you don't get sound judgment, that's why they can say anything and you fall for it. Sound judgment. Some of you have kept a lot of riffraffs around you and you have lost the main guys. Because, the way my heart is doing towards it. What is the kind of heart? Connect the heart back and box it. The way my heart is doing towards it. The way my heart is doing. Before you met it, was your heart not okay? The way my heart is doing. The way my heart is doing. 3 years. The way my heart is doing. 5 years. The way my heart is doing. When it dumps you and leave you, you know what you say? You say, I've evaluated and we are not compatible. Case finished. Now you go to cry. I just want you to, if you can find any other person, it's okay. I'm not tying you. I'm not holding you. If you come around my office, I'll give you a handkerchief. A lot have come, you will cry. I'll pray, Father, heal her heart, Lord, heal, Lord. Oh Lord, heal, Father, in the name of Jesus. Lord, heal. That's the only thing I'll do. Now I'm giving you preventive measure. You don't agree. I'll give you curative. That's what I do for hospital. Proverbs 11:22. Hey, somebody will shout this scripture for me. Are you there? Proverbs 11:22. I'll talk to you people now. No, this I'm talking. I'm supporting debates. You are not flying the scriptures. I will change. I tell. Want to go? A beautiful woman who lacks discretion is like a gold ring in a big snout. That is the picture. What is the value of a gold ring in the nose of a pig? That's how a beautiful woman with no judgment. So teach one woman to be discreet. One of the women I respect well is Abigail. Oh, good sense of judgment. She married a wrong man called Nabal. The man's name is Foolish. She can sense a king in the heart of David. David wanted to, preserve, protected the Nabal's guys when they came to harvest and share the sheep and all manner of stuff. He protected them. And now said, please can you give us something? Nabal said, who is David? When Abigail heard it, David had already vowed to slaughter everybody in the family. Everybody. She heard it, she took 200 loaves of bread, ran to David, and began to talk to David. David was a fugitive, but woman said, I know you will be king. Discretion. A woman will look at a guy with the two slippers, with discretion, and say, I know. Her brothers will not know. I know. Her uncle will not know. I know. Her parents will not know. I know. And I'm defining her for you. The uncle said, you are not a sacrifice that we have given to the Lord. That she's a living sacrifice. After our wedding, the younger sister was with us. The father called the sister. Said, check in the kitchen. Is there food? So that we can send food. That is to tell you the level they have kept me. That is, the sister should check whether there is food in the house so that they can send food for me, for us to eat. I don't want to say this one now. It was just boiling up, but I want to hang it here and swallow it back. But it will cause problem now. She said, I know. You may not look at like it now, but I have seen. Did you not discover that the woman saw the man, or the man was the first to talk? Because God made Adam to fall into a deep sleep, took the rib, made the woman, and brought her. So when the woman came, he was looking at the man. 99.9999% of the time, the woman sees her husband before the man talks. 99.99. Now the woman, they know the husband, but she don't know, pretend like say she don't know. Sometimes 2 years before the man approaches. So this one that you are getting confused. They propose to you, you take 1 year to not know whether you are not sister. Eve saw Adam, but Adam was the first to talk. That the man spoke first doesn't mean he saw you. No man will say, I just package herself. I just the waka. But she knows. If I have discretion, you know. Immediately, it was after that incident. I think I went back and just was talking to the man, the husband, see what happened. No. The man said, his heart froze and he died. I think I later became the wife of David. But she was connected to a riffraff. That's some of you that have shortchanged your destiny as ladies. Most of this mentality. Now, Genji camp, a bed at hand. It's not more than 7 in the bush. A bed at hand. Man, no come lose this one. Maybe person no come. See scarcity mentality. So everyone knows something. Tell somebody knows something. Have good sense of judgment. The other one I'm touching some of them very superficial. Humility. Listen to me. Authorities gravitate towards the humble. When you are with anybody that has power, what power doesn't like is pride. You meet military men, soldiers. There was a time I went for a program in Abuja. I had an idea. I was not driving back. There was a place I turned, wrong U-turn. The soldier was there. Immediately I was turning. The soldier man picked stone. If you see his red eye, he has been there all night. So early in the morning, you see that. I just wind down. I was doing like this. I don't know. He just came to me. He dropped the thing back. He said, "Oh, yeah, we go." But I don't see this anymore now. Then there was no turn around. They will scatter your glass. Before you are, do you know who I am? You will be the mud. Your whole face will be mud. Before you call the senator that knows you to bail you out. Whenever the Bible says, when the spirit of the leader, now if you are married, understand that a woman never, no matter how right you are, stand to challenge your man. He will crush you. I'm telling you, it's not past life, it's not physical stuff. He will crush you. You will not get that thing you want. The man can decide to be wrong, but with power. I'm telling you. Listen. If you want to marry, you will lose that authority as a lady. The institution of marriage, that institution demands that your husband is the head. That institution, not in the office, but your husband is the head. If you don't get it, forget about it. Just forget about it. Forget about it. You don't do women empowerment in the family. Forget about it. You don't do Oprah Winfrey there. Forget about it. Don't do Ellen DeGeneres or whatever. You don't forget about it. You don't do Chimamanda and Adichie. Forget about it. Yeah, I'm telling you. She will finish writing the books and still keep her marriage. She's writing to sell, though. It is Scandinavia. She knows what he said. She's doing business. Writing to sell, but still married and her children and mother everything. And she's writing the books. Women, to emancipate the girl child and to liberate the young woman. You read it. You now come back to your house. Emancipation has begun. The person that wrote the book, like this one apart, has written fiction. Developed one character, wrote Nollywood fiction. You read it, you start practicing. Discretion. Humility. Whenever you are, whether you're a man or a woman, before authority figures, stay humble to be elevated. Authority figures love even God. He said God resists the proud. You know one thing that God saw in Satan was pride. He resists the proud. That's why the Bible was saying about Satan. Resist the devil. Because what is synonymous with the devil is pride. Even when you are right, before authority, you are not right. Hey, who defines what sin is? Sin is not an act. Sin is what authority says is sin. Let me use what we used to know. In the olden days, elders of the land sat together and they say it's an abomination for a woman to give birth to two children at the same time, twins, is it not? The moment they said it, even the woman, the moment the child is coming out, they already. So if you have both twins, you are finishing. Years later, they got enlightenment. They are abolished it. Kill twins now. Sin is not just the act. Sin is what God calls sin, not what you think is sin. If God says sleeping with somebody before you marry is sin, it is sin. Sex is not sin. If you are married and you are not having sex, it is not sin. God called it fraud. He said, "Be fraud not one another." He said, so that Satan doesn't take advantage. That is where the scripture is. But now you are not married. He said, if you do it before marriage. Now God, like they define what it is sin. Not be your emotion. Not be CNN. But the last time I checked, in the beginning God created, not CNN. CNN just 40 years ago. Not be opinion leaders. Not be influencers. Not be Nollywood. That the moment say I am coming from my boyfriend's house, I am leaving my boyfriend's house, you now think that because somebody is dating you, you now be sleeping in the house. You are practicing Nollywood, not sanctified sexuality. Marriage is honorable when the bed is on the fire.